Hi. Today I'll be discussing about Microsoft Edge. There's a new version of Microsoft Edge which has been released now for some time, but the production version is now available for everyone to actually download. So if I go to my Microsoft Edge, let me just start Microsoft Edge, and I go to my settings and more. And here I'm going to show you when I go to settings and I scroll down, and here you can see I'm using the Microsoft Edge version 44. So right now there's a new version which is version 81, which is the latest version of Microsoft Edge. I will tell you it has more opportunity and gives you you can do more things with it than this Microsoft's the older version of Edge. So how do you actually upgrade to that update to that version? So you can actually do it. You don't even need to go to the website of Microsoft like from Google and then search for like latest Microsoft Edge. What you just need to do, when I click on my type here to search, here you see I get a kind of a recommended, which is actually automatic from Microsoft to download the latest Microsoft Edge. But I can as well, when I go to my start menu and I type Microsoft Edge, here you see, of course, I'm being recommended to download the latest Microsoft Edge. So when I click on download, it will take me automatically to the website where I need to download the latest Edge version. So what I need to just do is, you can see I have the option to actually choose for other browser if I'm using Windows 8, even Windows 7, or iOS, Android, or Mac OS. But for now, I'm using Windows 10, so I can just click on download, and then you accept the license terms, and you see your download will begin shortly. So let me just save the file. So the file has been saved. So it's a very least. I think the file is not that too big, so it takes the download goes very very fast. So I'm just going to double click on this to install Edge. So then and accept and click yes to allow the app to make changes to your computer. And here you can see Microsoft Edge is being downloaded and installed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just pause this video and come back again when the installation has been completed. Then we can see how the latest Microsoft Edge look like. So when it downloaded complete, I'm being asked to just close and continue. And here you can see is make sure to finish up work in any open tab. So if you have the Microsoft Edge open, of course it will be closed. But surely you can just actually see the difference between this symbol of Edge and the older version of Edge. You can see this one is actually a kind of with a white with a blue background, and here you can see the color and the symbol has actually changed. So now the Microsoft Edge is being installed. Let me just wait a little bit for this installation to complete. So right now you can see that the Microsoft Edge has been installed. You can see it's going from the older version to the latest version. So I said let me just click on the Get Started. So and here you can see some inspirational, informational, and focus. Just click Confirmed. And here, if you want to you can actually sign in to Microsoft Edge to actually sync your info or your data from an older version to the latest version. So here you have the option to just continue without signing in, or you can actually sign into Microsoft Edge. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually sign into Microsoft Edge. I'm going to create a new account for this Edge. So I'm going to sign into the Microsoft Edge. Let me just use my work or school account and click continue. So right now you can see that I've logged on to Microsoft Edge. So I'm going to show you, let me just go to under my profile. So when I click on here under my profile, you can see I'm using my work account to actually sign in. So you say that to sync browser data across your sign-in device, set up sync. So let me just set up sync. So which means when you set up sync, so any device you actually modified your browser, automatically it will be synced amongst all other devices whereby you configured the sync your profile. So let me just click sync, and right now it's being synced, but this is my first computer whereby I'm using this profile. So I have the option actually to also add a second profile, or I can just click add a profile. I can as well browse as a guest if I want to browse as a guest. But if I go to my settings and more, and here we have some other options. But I also have the under the favorite, I can decide to say, okay, let me add this page to my favorite bar, or I can decide to show the favorite bar. Let me just click on always show the favorite bar. And when I click on my settings, I'm actually interested in settings. And here on our settings, we have the options to actually manage our profile. You can see this is actually a more robust, how you have more robust options compared to the former or the previous Edge. And if I go to under settings and I click about Microsoft Edge, and you can see instead of the version 41, we now have version 81, and it's a 64-bit. So when I go to my profile, here I have the options. So here you can see I can click on manage account to actually configure and manage my account. Yeah, you see, but it automatically takes me to Microsoft. As you can see, I am logged on as Thomas Johnson, and I have the other options to actually change my password and more. But if I want to sync my other account, maybe just to sync it immediately, I can click on sync. And here on a password, if I click on password, right now we don't have any saved password. But mind you, every password you saved in your browser will automatically be saved here. So for example, you try to access a web browser, and the browser asks you for your login credentials. You enter the credentials. So you are given the option in every browser like Microsoft, like Internet Explorer, Google Chrome, and Firefox, and also with Edge, to actually save your password in that browser. So when you click save, automatically your password will be saved in the browser. And when you log on to a different computer entirely, then that password and that profile will be synced with that computer, so it will be accessible everywhere. I think it's a very, very good option because I use it for Firefox, and also I'm using it for Microsoft Edge as well. But this is just a test account I'm using. So let me go back to profile here. And here we have the payment of info. If, for example, your account is linked to Google account, if you've been using Google account before, you've actually included your payment info, you're going to see that here. And here we also have the option to actually import our info from Internet Explorer. And again, if, for example, you have Firefox configured on this computer, or even Google Chrome, you will then have the option to actually import your favorite from Google Chrome or um, Firefox. So right now you can decide to say, okay, you want to save the password of what you are going to import, or you want to save the search engine. So for Internet Explorer, I'm just going to click import, and everything will be imported. But I don't have a lot of info in Internet Explorer because this is a new virtual machine. Here you see we have a second profile. I can decide to switch to the second profile as well, and then start using that profile instead of using my work account. Right now I'm using my second profile, so you can see I have also the option to actually, but I don't have the option to sync because this is a profile I am using, but I'm not logged on to this profile. It's not linked to any email address. And here we have some privacy and services. Here we can decide to actually configure our privacy and services if you want to. Just take your time and check all these options you have. And here we have the on startup, what you actually want the Microsoft Edge to do if you want to when you start up the browser. Open a new tab, continue where you left, or open a specific page or pages. Sometimes if you just feel that you want to continue where you left, maybe you are busy on the browser and you want to actually continue from that same browser where you actually left up, you can just set this on, and automatically you will continue from where you left. And here we have some new tab page. We can decide to customize uh, page layout as well, how we want it to look like. So let me go back again to my page. And here, if I go to under site permissions here we can see what permission, what do we want the Microsoft Edge to have permission with. So you have a lot of info you can actually check here compared to the old Microsoft Edge. And here we have the download. We can set our download folder. You can see my download goes automatically to the which is the default folder. But I can decide to change that folder and actually give it a different one. I can say, okay, just go to save all my download. I download and select this folder. So everything I now download from Microsoft Edge will go automatically to my document instead of the download folder. So I'm going to leave it on the download folder for now. I'm just giving you an example. So as well, you can ask where to save each file before downloading, but right now automatically it's being saved to the download folder. So if I switch this on, so every time I try to download, it's going to ask me where do I want to save my file. So here we have the language preference. We can decide to say, okay, which is the preferred language we want. Right now, these are in the United States in English. But if you are maybe you speak French, you can decide to actually switch display Microsoft language in this language, or you can actually let me just go to this language but you need to download the language because here the language pack is not installed. So you need to add a language first before you will be able to switch to that language. So you can see that the spelling check is checked to um, English, which is the United States. I can add or delete words, and I can as well, when you add a language, add an extra language, you have the option to actually check the spelling on that language as well. So we also have the option of printers. We can as well, if I click on printer, it will take me to my printers and settings. I can click here and then click manage my printers. But right now I don't have any printer attached to this computer. So we have also the system, and here we can say, okay, we want the Microsoft Edge to continue to run in the background even if it's closed. I can decide to say no, just close it totally. So but when it runs in the background, you close the Microsoft Edge and you opens it, it opens quickly, which because Microsoft is being run just like every other some applications which runs on the background of your computer. So we also have the open your computer proxy settings. We can decide to configure our settings if we use proxy, but for this training, I'm not using any proxy. We can as well reset our browser. I can decide to actually just reset this will reset your startup page, new tab page, search engine, and a lot of things will be reset. But for now, I'm not going to do that. So we have the phone and other devices. Here you can see download the app to your phone. If you just scan this code here, the app will be downloaded on your phone. And just like I showed you before, we have the version and the version of Microsoft Edge, which has been downloaded and installed on this computer. So you can see we have different options which you can actually play with. Just try and check which settings actually fit your what you want. And compared to like the former Microsoft Edge, I think right now because Microsoft Edge is actually a lighter version of Internet Explorer, because Internet Explorer contains a lot of information. Sometimes it's also a little bit slower, but Microsoft Edge is more faster than Internet Explorer. In the past 2-3 years I've been using Edge, so when I compare, I think I prefer to use Microsoft Edge than Internet Explorer. So thank you very much for taking your time to watch this video. So I just decided to give you an intro on what how the new Microsoft Edge look like. If I decide to go on step by step to explain everything, this video would be very long. So my name is Kelvin Johnson, and please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel for more IT related videos. And if you have any question, you can always send me an email and I will respond as quick as possible. And thank you very much for taking your time to watch my video. I appreciate you a lot. Bye.